How's everyone doing? I'm very glad to be here today. So I have a personal story I want to share with all of you today. And when I was just a baby, as you can see through the adorable baby photos on the right here, when I was 4 years old, I was diagnosed with pervasive developmental disorder not otherwise specified. For a lot of people, I'm sure you really don't know what that is, but it is a form of autism. So when I was 4, I was diagnosed with autism, and I had a lot of challenges. I had severe sensory integration issues, I had communication issues, I had social issues, and until I was 2.5, I was also nonverbal. I've certainly come a long way. But one of the big things about autism today in our community is that autism is seen so many times as a diagnosis for children. It's focused on so much of everything you see on television and in the press is about children. It's about children getting diagnosed. It's about interventions. It's about a wide range of difficulties with them. But what I'm here to tell you about today is that autism is much more than that. Autism is a lifelong disability, and today there's a lot of hope in our community. There are individuals such as myself who are now adults with autism who are paving the way for our community today, and we certainly have come a long way. My personal story starts when I was 4, when I was diagnosed. Because of all of my difficulties, because of my issues, I really didn't know where I was going to be when I became an adult. I didn't have many aspirations as a kid because of the amount of services I had to go through. But because of where I came and because of my supports, I was able to become an adult. I was able to go to college. That's something that really no one thinks about when you think about autism a lot of the time. You don't think of autism and you don't associate it with college. But I'm here to tell you today that not only was I able to graduate from college with a degree in business administration and then also get a master's in strategic communication to give presentations like I'm giving today, but I have found that there are so many more individuals who are getting to college, who are doing these things. And today, I'm happy to say I have a full-time job with the national organization Autism Speaks. I have been able to not only go to get a master's in strategic communications, but also get to travel the country as a national motivational speaker, talking about autism awareness, talking about disability awareness. And it's given me the opportunity to do things in Jersey City that I never thought I would have done when I was a kid. Just a month ago, we were with Tommy Hilfiger in Jersey City at the Golden Door Film Festival, and my autism advocacy has really come to the point where I want to become an advocate for those who are going to college, who are adults in our community. So, college was one of the biggest dreams I ever had. And the theme of this Brave New World is that there are individuals with autism going to college. And one of my earliest dreams was to get to college. And when I was in high school, during my senior year, that was the goal. My parents applied me to 15 different colleges. We wanted to get in somewhere. And when the first letters started coming in, we were just on pins and needles, not really knowing what to expect. And when the first letter came in, it took us 3 days to open the letter. We were just like, okay, we're not opening this. We're gonna wait as long as possible. And when the first letter came in, I got accepted. I got accepted into my first choice, which was Seton Hall University, and that was it. That's all we really needed. We were just thrilled to get into someplace. So we got into Seton Hall, and then as my senior year went along, the rest of the 14 other letters came in, And by the end of the senior year, I got accepted into all 15 colleges. And thank you. And it just went to show that not only was I able to accomplish my dream of getting to college, but there was someone out there who believed in me to the point where they could see me succeeding in college. And that's why I want to see it for so many individuals with autism today. So when we think of dreams, what do we think of? For me, like I said, one of my earliest dreams was to get to college. So when I got to college, I became an advocate. It was the first time I had progressed so much as a kid. No one really knew I had autism. No one really understood that, oh, this kid can't have autism. He's in college, he's speaking, he's going out to parties, he's doing all this. It's like, how is this possible? How could this be someone with autism? And that's when I came out to my peers for the first time, telling them that I am on the autism spectrum. And by sharing my story, I was able to educate and really try to make a difference for those with autism. Now, what is autism? I've talked a lot about how I'm on the autism spectrum, but autism today is a social and communication disorder that affects a wide range of individuals. And the one big thing about autism is that autism is a lifelong disability. It's staggering, the numbers today of autism. If you've read any of the statistics, you may know that currently in our society, 1 in 68 are affected by autism in the United States. It has become a huge, huge epidemic in our society, and it's something we all need to really look at, because autism isn't going away in our society. We have 1 in 68 who have autism in the United States, which is over 3 million individuals, which is 1% of our population. And then we have over 70 million individuals who have autism across the world. So autism is in our society, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. New Jersey, where we live, we currently have the highest prevalence of autism in the country, in 1 in 45 individuals being diagnosed. If any of you have heard about autism in New Jersey, we have some of the best supports, and we're able to get some of the best diagnoses for our kids, which is a big reason why we think the numbers are the best here, because we're making sure that these kids aren't falling through the cracks. So because of the numbers of autism has become a hot topic in our society. Autism is everywhere in our society. It's in film, it's in TV, it's in books. It's basically everywhere you go. You really can't find a place where you're not hearing about autism, whether it's from a coworker, a peer, et cetera, and so forth. It's everywhere in our society. And some of the biggest autism advocates we have today, you may have heard names such as Dr. Temple Grandin, who had the HBO film about her life called Temple Grandin. And then there's other individuals like John Elder Robison, who had a New York Times best-selling novel. And then just recently in the news, I don't know if anyone has been seeing this, but Jerry Seinfeld also believes that he is on the autism spectrum. So you really can't, there's so many celebrities today, and it just goes to show you how wide and how big a topic autism has become. And with the autism numbers, one of the other big things we have right now is that autism in adults is growing rapidly. We currently have 500,000 individuals with autism who are going to reach adulthood within the next decade. That just goes to show you that these kids are going to be reaching adulthood, and they are going to need supports, but also at the same time, college is going to be a possibility for some. The other staggering statistic, which I usually talk to people about, is the fact that in our community, autism, there's really not that many opportunities for employment. Most individuals with autism are underemployed or not employed at all. And that goes to show that if we can get more supports in colleges for these kids with autism, then the possibilities for jobs, the possibility, because I mean our economy right now, just everyone is having a tough time looking for a job, not only individuals with autism. So if we're able to get those supports, The possibilities are endless. So my personal story kind of just goes to show you how rapidly autism is increasing. When I was diagnosed with autism in 1992, the numbers of autism were 1 in every 5,000. Today, it's 1 in 68. It just goes to show autism isn't going anywhere, and in the next few years, we don't know what the numbers will be. 1 in 40, 1 in 20. It's every couple of years, the numbers just keep increasing. So we need to be ready for these kids. So obviously, college doesn't come easy. It takes a lot of work. And that starts with early interventions and supports for these individuals. It starts with early intervention and supports. It starts with getting these kids a proper diagnosis and learning the signs of autism as early as possible. By learning the signs of autism as early as possible, we're able to get these kids a diagnosis, we're able to get them supports, and then we're able to get them services. So when they go into school, they have the proper IEP, they have the proper programs set in place where they can thrive. Early intervention is the key for these kids. So being able to support them and then also give them the right supports throughout their entire academic process is really a key for getting them there. So one of the other things about autism in the schools is that autism, for many, is a 24/7 job. When you look at autism today in our society, you can see that with the supports, with the services, many of these individuals have to go through ongoing process, everything from ABA to physical therapy to occupational therapy to speech therapy. Most kids go 9 to 3 in school. It's just 9 to 3. But for many with autism, it's after school. It's going into the summer. It's literally just every single day you really have to work at it. And that's what I had to do when I was a kid. When I was just a baby, when I did start gaining speech, it was still a long road ahead of me to get me to where I am today. And because of that, I had really 2 of the best coaches I could ever ask for, and that starts with my mom and dad. My mom was probably the saint who really came in to make sure that all the dreams that I wanted to accomplish, including college, came true. My mom started with the Board of Education in Jersey City because she saw that there was such a limit on these kids with special needs. And one of the best quotes that my mom has ever talked about is that my mom came into the Jersey City public school system to help her kid, and then she stayed for almost 19 years to help everyone else's. And she's been a godsend, along with my dad. Both of them are in the audience today. And because of their support, I've really been able to accomplish many of my dreams today. So with autism, because of my diagnosis, we were really trying to get me the best supports possible. And one of the best supports that came to me was when I was able to go out of district. When I was able to go out of district, I was able to, for the first time, really get the supports I needed, the services I needed, and it helped me tremendously. I went from public school from 1st to 4th grade, and then from 5th to high school, I was in a school for kids with learning disabilities, out of district at a school called Community Lower School, and then Community High School. And this is where I got to really focus on my key interest. These schools were focused on giving you the opportunity to succeed, but they also wanted you to focus on the things you were passionate about. And 2 of my greatest passions, as you can see, were drama and basketball. And I took those aspirations and I took those key interests to get me to the point where I am today, where I could thrive with my autism, but also understand how my key interest, if I was able to put passion in these certain things, that I could also put a passion into other things like schoolwork and trying to get to college. And that really helped along the way. Basically, what I'm trying to get at with College for Autism is that through the entire process, it's an ongoing process. We need early intervention, we need supports for these kids in school, we need the therapies they need to succeed. But once they get to college, once these individuals have the opportunity to get to college, we need to make sure that colleges understand what autism is. Because right now, college and autism are basically just very, very little is being done in terms of awareness. So this is broken down into having mentoring. It's focused on having autism awareness at colleges. It's focused on having services for these kids. It's focused on making sure disability support services understand what autism is and how they can help these individuals. And that all starts with sharing the stories of these individuals, sharing not only my story, but the stories of individuals, the 500,000 individuals who will be reaching adulthood. For these individuals who will be reaching college, being able to share their stories and being able to share the possibilities gives an unlimited amount of potential to spread awareness for these supports, and ideally to help the future generations of Kerry Magros succeed in college with autism. Like I said, in college, I became the advocate. I became the advocate who wanted to really see people succeed with autism. And I spread awareness. I started spreading awareness basically my first day when I was at Seton Hall. And after that experience, every single day, I just wanted to educate my peers more and more on autism. And that's really what I wanted to do once I got out of college as well, because I saw the lack of awareness and the lack of acceptance for autism in my peers. And by trying to educate those individuals, I wanted to educate the individuals in my workplace. I wanted to educate the individuals in our Jersey City community on what autism is and making sure that people understand what potential there is for individuals with autism today. So in college, because of my supports and because of wanting to become an advocate, I started the first student organization on my campus called Student Disability Awareness for kids with all different types of disabilities. What I wanted to do was I wanted to break down the barriers for individuals with disabilities who have gone through any ignorance or any bullying or any type of lack of awareness in their lives. So I started SDA, the first student organization for kids with disabilities, and that paved the way to start my nonprofit organization. I started an organization called KFM Making a Difference, where I was able to give out scholarships for individuals to go to college. And so far, we've given out 7 scholarships since we started in fall 2012. We've just had our first graduate who graduated from Wisconsin Whitewater with a dual major in political science and business. So it just goes to show you not only was I able to get through college, but also all these individuals who are on the autism spectrum are pursuing their dreams. And it's not only in New Jersey. We've had winners from Wisconsin, Los Angeles, Detroit. All these individuals are going to college and they are succeeding. And it just goes to show you how wide our spectrum is for autism and just how many people are doing amazing things. So, finally, said a mouthful about autism during this presentation, but one of the big things I want to say is, in this brave new world, college is going to be possible for individuals with autism. It's not going to be for every single individual with autism, because autism is a wide spectrum. There are individuals who are high functioning, there are more who are low functioning, but for individuals like me, for individuals like the 500,000 who will be reaching adulthood, we need to see college as a possibility for these individuals. Because at the end of the day, one of the big things I say is autism doesn't define my life. I define autism. And for these individuals who are going to college today, we are defining autism in college. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see in this brave new world. Thank you so much.